Please tell me I'm not alone in this. Hey everyone! So today I am ranking and reviewing Lucy Score's Knockemout series, Things We Never Got Over, Things We Hide from the Light, and her newest edition, Things We Left Behind. I cannot wait to share with you guys what I thought about all three of these novels. This video will be spoiler free, so any reviews of these three novels will not have any spoilers. Let's go ahead and get started. Things We Never Got Over. This novel took me so much by surprise when I first read it at the beginning of this year. Oh my goodness, it's been a crazy year for reading. But I absolutely adored this novel. I adored everything about it. I was so surprised when I got into it because it was one of those book talk recommendations, and a lot of times those really don't pan out for me. But I was pleasantly surprised with this one. Basically, you follow Naomi as she comes to a new town searching for her twin sister, and she finds out that her twin sister basically conned her, left her with her daughter, and now Naomi is basically in a new town with a niece that she never knew she had, and she has to figure out where to go from there and how to find her evil twin sister. Along the way, she meets Knox, who is amazing, just to put it lightly. So that's the gist of this novel. My review for it, I really, really loved it. Naomi and Knox were so great together. They had such great chemistry. Knox was such a grumpy man, and I loved it because I love grumpy men, besides the point. But he had so much baggage, but it was still baggage that he was able to overcome, especially for her. He fell in love for Naomi, and she's basically this sweet, hardworking woman, and I love that. I love that mix of two characters who are complete polar opposites, because I believe in opposites attract. The writing for this novel is impeccable. It is absolutely amazing. I laughed out loud, I smiled, I frowned so many times, probably because Knox was an absolute douche at certain moments, although we still love him, obviously. It made me feel so many emotions, which is what a novel is supposed to do. It's supposed to make you feel things. And I thought that Lucy Score did an amazing job at making you feel so many different emotions in this book. The voice, style, and rhythm for this novel were so spot on that I couldn't have asked for better. It's told from two different point of views, Knox's and Naomi's, but honestly, I preferred Naomi's chapters more. That's just my preference. While I thought the plot was lacking in some points, you had obviously a lot happen in this bigger novel with not a lot of climax at the end. It made me want more of a climax, more of a bigger ending, if that makes sense. But I love the characters and the writing style so much that it was easy to get over the lack of plot. And I absolutely 100% adored Waylay, although I wish Knox's dog wasn't named Wayland. Next in the Knockemout series is Things We Hide from the Light. This book is about Nash, Knox's brother, and Lena. So the basic storyline for this one is that Nash is recovering from his bullet wound after getting shot, and Lena is basically a commitment phobe. And that's really a really short gist. And they basically come together and they try to find love together while Nash is recovering and Lena tries to help him get over his anxiety and his fears. My review for this novel is a little half-half. There's a lot I could say about this, but a lot would probably have me burned at the stake by Lucy Score lovers. I wanted to like this book. I really wanted to like this book, especially since I loved Things We Never Got Over so much. But I didn't love this book. Now, here's the reason. The main thing that bothered me about this book is that there's no plot. I can't even speak. With Things We Never Got Over, I talked about a lack of plot, okay? But it was okay because the characters were amazing. The writing was amazing. You still had so much going on that it was easy to get over the small lack of plot. Because that one still had plot. You still had the evil twin sister trying to find out what she was doing with Waylay, all of that good stuff. Things We Hide from the Light I felt like there was nothing to grasp onto. Like, okay, Duncan Hugo's still out there. Cool, whatever. But basically, I felt like Nash and Lena were just aimlessly running around trying to figure out how to fall in love with each other. Basically. I don't even know how else to say that. It was all about them, Nash having his panic attacks, which I thought were really great and well written, and Lena being, afraid of commitment. But other than that, it's just their problems. The whole entire novel is their problems. And every now and then you get a mention of, oh, Duncan Hugo. Oh, Duncan Hugo. Oh, he's still out there. He might come shoot you. It wasn't enough for me. And I was so bored with the internal monologue of, do I want him? Do I want her? Am I too damaged? I get it. I get that people have problems, but it was too much. Literally. It was too much of just going on and on and on. Am I good enough for her? It was not for me. The other thing that I really didn't like about this novel was Lena. So I'm sure a lot of people really loved her character, but Lena bothered me so much. And I don't know if it was because of her I don't care attitude or something else, but she really was not my favorite. I liked Nash though, because Nash was, the good old boy. And the last thing, okay, swear the last thing I'm just gonna sit here and complain about. I felt no chemistry between Nash and Lena. None. Maybe it was just me. Maybe I was in a bad place when I was reading this book. Maybe I was in a horrible mood. I don't know. I didn't feel the chemistry at all. The things that I liked about this novel. I liked that it was a predictable romance and it had a few of the spicy scenes. And the reason I liked that it was predictable is because you know what you're getting into. You know that you're going to have a happy ending. You know that you're going to have romance. You know that it's going to be this feel-good novel that's not going to make you go into a depression. And I like that because it's an escape from reality. And sometimes we really need those. I also enjoyed seeing all of my favorite characters from the first novel. It's always a treat to see characters that you know and you love again, but in a happier setting. Waylay is the best, as always. My last thing that I really loved about this novel, dog sidekicks. They're my weakness. I love Piper. He's so cute. And Nash's relationship with Piper, to die for. All right, so the last in the Knockemout series, Things We Left Behind. Thank goodness. Thank goodness for this novel because I was losing a little bit of hope. I love this. I loved it so much. Now, I didn't love it as much as the first, but I loved it. The gist of this novel is basically Sloane and Lucian. You get a lot of tension from them in the past two books, so getting to see them finally in their own romance was so satisfying. So what you have happen is you're basically getting Sloane and Lucian's backstory on why they hate each other, and then you get this present story of how they fall in love. And that's a quick little blurb for you. This one was so much better than Things We Hide from the Light. And the reason for that, I think, is because you had more plot. And I am always coming back to plot. I am an English nerd, so I'm all about plot. Now, Sloane and Lucian's book had more plot because you get this backstory. You get this tension that's building. It's not just aimlessly running around trying to figure out why you like a person. You have their childhood story, you have their present story, you have everything that brings them together, you have the chemistry. It brought the whole novel together. And on side notes, you still had the Anthony Hugo subplot. You had this subplot with Sloane trying to help free a prisoner who was wrongfully convicted. It goes into all kinds of things, and you get so much out of this. The characters, as always, 10 out of 10. The story itself was beautiful. It was so entertaining. I laughed and I smiled so many times, and I was like, oh my gosh, Lucian is such a little dirtbag. But it was so good. And I'm hating on Lucian, but he was amazing. He really was. And you get all of this sacrifice from him, even though he has this hard exterior. The only thing that I didn't like about the plot with this one is that while you had all these subplots and while you had Sloane and Lucian's main plot, it felt like there was a little too much going on and it was all over the place. That is my only problem with this, but it really doesn't take away from the fact that it was a good story and it was entertaining. It was so entertaining. I have a ton of spoilers for this book, that I really want to talk about, but I'm going to leave the spoilers in my review on my blog. You can see a link in the description down below. So if you do want to see the spoilers and what I thought about some of the spoilers in the book, go ahead and check out my blog post because I don't want to put spoilers in this video. But overall, this one was a great conclusion to the series, and I can put these books on my shelves on a happy note. All right, so the moment of truth. How am I ranking the Knockemout series? I feel like you can kind of guess if you followed my review this far. My ranking for the books are pretty simple, and I feel like a lot of you guys are going to have the same ranking, but I want you to let me know how you rank the books down in the comments below after I'm done ranking. So coming in at number 3, the one that I liked the least, Things We Hide from the Light. If you watched my part of the review for this, you know why this one is last for me. I didn't like it. I didn't like the characters, except for Nash. It wasn't my thing. Coming in second in the Knockemout series, Things We Left Behind. This one was so beautiful, so fun, and Sloane and Lucian, honestly, they can compare to Naomi and Knox. Just not on the same level, but second nonetheless. Coming in first, obviously, Things We Never Got Over. The original Knockemout book, basically an all-over entertaining as hell, romantic as hell, and beautiful and fun. But Book Talk did not disappoint on this recommendation, and I seriously suggest that you go pick up a copy and read this book because it was just that great. All right, everyone, so there you have it. That is my review and ranking of the whole Knockemout series by Lucy Score. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you have anything you want to share with me, anything from the books that you really liked, really disliked, anything you agreed with me on, leave it down below in the comments. If you really like this video, go ahead and subscribe. I post videos like this all the time. As always, thank you guys for watching, and I hope you enjoyed. Bye!